Hey, what's up guys? This is Matt from Under the Spotlight. Today we're going to be checking out how you can get some pretty cool macro shots for only 20 bucks if you don't have a macro lens. Macro shots are pretty awesome. They bring a whole new perspective on a particular subject, bringing out another level of detail. But macro lenses can set you back at least a few $100, and that's for a used one. And if you're just starting out or you're on a tight budget, there are other options. So that brings us to this. A macro extension tube set. You may have seen these or heard of them, but is it a worthy alternative to a macro lens? And that's what we're going to check out today. Keep in mind though, before you buy one of these, you do require a 50mm prime lens. So this one is made from a company called Neewer. Neewer? Neewer. It only costs 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description down below. Now there are 3 tubes with different tube lengths. There's 13mm, 21mm, and 31mm. And how this works is you basically put each tube in between the body and the lens. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up. So the tubes come in this soft black bag, and we also have the instructions here. The instructions is just, an intro, other precautions. Put that aside for now. And here are the tubes inside this bag. Let me just open it up. It's nice that you actually get a bag with it too. Now I don't know about you guys, but I rarely read instructions, and that's just because I'm way too excited to try out the product. In this case though, I would recommend reading the instructions just because with the 7 different combinations that you can get with these tubes, it's a good idea to check out the instructions where they have the chart here. They have the image magnification ratios and exposure factors based on the 7 different combinations that you get. So check that out before you go ahead and start shooting, or just try it out, trial and error, see what you get. If you do need to reference off something, you do have the instructions here. So the tubes here, as you'd expect, for only 20 bucks, they feel pretty cheap and plasticky. So that's why it's only 20 bucks. The rings here come in other colors. I got the gold one. I think they also come in red and blue. Now detaching and reattaching is pretty straightforward. You just push down on the little tabs here and then you twist and unlock just like any other lens. At first I found it a little bit tricky sometimes because you do have to fiddle with it, but after time you get used to it, should be okay. Attaching them, you'll notice the little red dots in here. You just match it up to the arrow, twist, and lock. Now I've noticed that sometimes putting it onto the body, it doesn't really lock, and sometimes it can get loose, so you have to be really careful with that, especially when you have your prime lens attached onto the other end. I've also had times where the prime lens was a little bit tricky to detach from these attachments, and that's when you have to be really careful so you don't actually break the pins inside. So let me grab my 50mm prime lens here and then attach it onto the extension tubes just to give you guys an idea of how it looks and how to work it. I'm going to take the top cap off there, take the body cap off of the lens. I'm going to match up the 2 red spots, twist, and it's a little bit of a tight twist, but once it locks you'll know. And there you have it, and that's how it looks. To take it off, as I said earlier, you just push on the tab here, and twist it, and unlocks. Let's go try this out and see what kind of shots we can get with these extension tubes. So you can see the amount of detail that you can get out of these macro tubes. The only way you really focus is basically moving either the subject or the camera closer or further away from the lens. The results that you get for only 20 bucks, it's actually pretty good. Now I wouldn't suggest it as your permanent solution for macro lenses. Obviously eventually you're going to want to pick up a real macro lens. It's just definitely in terms of build quality, ease of use, because in this case you're always going to have to carry around these extensions and attach it onto the body, then attach your lens onto it, rather than just simply taking another macro lens and throwing that onto the body. But let's say you don't want to whip out a few $100 for a macro lens right now, and you just want to get a cheap solution for macro shots for the time being. This is actually a really good alternative to go with. I mean, as you can see with some of the shots that I'm getting here, it's not bad with the amount of detail that you're getting. And there you go, guys. That's the macro extension tubes for only 20 bucks from a brand called Neewer from Amazon. Link is down in the description. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Definitely gonna be putting a lot of things under the spotlight, tech, gadgets. If you guys have suggestions, let me know down in the comments, and I can do my best to try to get these products out and shoot a video for them. Thanks, guys.